I'm everywhere.
Do you mean your music?
In the world of music, few names evoke the aura of enigma and extravagance quite like Michael Jackson. A figure shrouded in as much mystery as fame, Jackson's life was a tapestry woven with threads of genius, controversy, and an insatiable appetite for the extraordinary. His possessions, an eclectic mixture of the whimsical and the profound, were reflections of a soul that danced on the edges of fantasy and reality.
Can we get out of here? No, I'm enjoying this.
The stakes of this auction were more than just financial. They were a ledger of a legend's lifetime. Jackson's assets, a mere shadow beneath the towering $415 million debt, hinted at a financial precipice that even the king of pop could not moonwalk away from. As the auctioneer's gavel loomed over these items, each bid was a measure of Jackson's enduring legacy and the price the world was willing to pay to grasp a fragment of a star that burned too bright. The Edward Scissorhands gloves.
Me. I can't.
Among the items, a pair of gloves stood out, not for their glitter or gold, but for their cinematic lineage. These were the Edward Scissorhands gloves, worn by Johnny Depp in Tim Burton's masterpiece. To the uninitiated, they were mere props. To the aficionado, they were sacred relics. Jackson, ever the patron of the arts and the architect of his own Neverland, saw these not as gloves, but as gauntlets of creativity. Each finger blade was a metaphor for Jackson's own life, sharp, intricate, and misunderstood. They were symbols of his perpetual quest to blend the surreal with the corporeal, much like his dance moves that seemed to defy the very physics of human anatomy. Their auction was not just a sale, it was a passing of the guard, an invitation to the buyer to continue the legacy of embracing the bizarre beauty of what it means to be different. Bubbles, the Chimp's play toys. No tale of Michael Jackson's eccentricity is complete without a chapter on Bubbles, the chimpanzee who was as much a fixture of the Jackson narrative as any of his human companions. Bubbles' play toys were more than mere trinkets. They were artifacts of a friendship that transcended species. Each toy was a testament to Jackson's refusal to conform to conventional pet ownership, a mirror to his own childhood, robbed of normalcy and transposed into a life of spotlights and stages. These toys whispered stories of a chimp that lived a life of luxury, of private planes and tea with dignitaries, of moonlit dances, and days spent in the embrace of Neverland's magical realms. As these items found new homes, they carried with them the weight of Jackson's legacy, a narrative that danced delicately between the joys of unbridled love and the whispers of controversy that seemed to follow the star at every twirl and turn. The Beatles' back catalogue. To own a song is to own a moment in time, and Jackson knew this better than any. The Beatles' back catalogue was more than just a collection of tunes. It was the soundtrack to a revolution. When Jackson laid claim to it, he was not just purchasing music. He was securing his place in the pantheon of musical immortality. This acquisition was a chess move played on a board that spanned genres and generations, a nod to his own musical prowess and a silent acknowledgement of the power of legacy. The auction of these rights was as much about the notes that ring out in the silence as it was about the stories that the songs themselves had borne witness to. From Liverpool's Cavern Club to the zenith of pop culture, they were hymns of a bygone era, now passed on to new custodians in the hope that the music would continue to inspire and provoke as it had always done. A hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Among the more unconventional items, a hyperbaric oxygen chamber was perhaps the most futuristic. This chamber, once rumoured to be Jackson's fountain of youth, was a testament to the lengths he would go to maintain his vitality and perhaps his desire to escape the ravages of time. Although its efficacy was a subject of speculation, the chamber's allure was not selling for $18,000. This price tag was not just for a medical device, but for a piece of the mythos that surrounded Michael Jackson's quest for immortality. A Michael Jackson statue wearing the batsuit. The gaze of the auction's attendees was captured by a peculiar yet imposing item, a life-sized statue of Michael Jackson attired as the iconic Batman. This piece was a vibrant echo of Jackson's love for grandiosity and his affinity with the fantastical elements of pop culture. Standing tall, the statue was a rich narrative piece, telling of a superstar who often felt just as much a vigilante in his own life as the masked hero of Gotham. This artifact, symbolizing Jackson's own complex identity, was sold for $25,000, a figure reflecting not just the statue's material worth, but its significant emblematic value to fans and collectors alike. Life masks of his own face. Life masks of Michael Jackson's face offered a haunting yet fascinating glimpse into the star's complex persona. Cast during different stages of his life, these masks were a series of frozen portraits detailing the physical transformation of a man who was perpetually under the microscope of fame. The masks, expressions etched in time, were snatched up by avid collectors for sums ranging from $1,500 to $3,000 each. They stood as silent testimonies to Jackson's ever-changing identity, a man who presented many faces to the world. Mannequin children. The Neverland Ranch was home to an unsettling collection of life-size mannequin children. These figures, positioned in playful stances throughout the property, sparked curiosity and controversy alike. The mannequins, sold for $2,500 each, were a jarring representation of the singer's struggle with his lost youth and his complicated legacy, towing the line between the innocent and the provocative. An interesting and vast car collection. Michael Jackson's car collection, ranging from the stately to the surreal, reflected his eclectic tastes. At the auction, a 1999 Rolls-Royce limousine, complete with 24-karat gold embellishments and custom features, fetched a handsome $140,000. Each vehicle, like the Dodge Viper minicar with the Simpsons paint job that went for $30,000, told of Jackson's playful side and his love for the unique. This fleet was not merely for conveyance. It was a parade of his journey through stardom, with each car a vessel carrying stories of a life lived in the fast lane. A robotic head of himself. A true spectacle of the auction was a robotic head of Michael Jackson himself, an astonishing piece hailing from his ambitious Moonwalker film. This head, a marvel of animatronics from a bygone era of special effects, represented Jackson's fascination with technology and transformation. With the push of a button, the face would come alive, just as Jackson brought to life countless stages around the world. This piece of memorabilia sold for $45,000, capturing the essence of the singer's innovation and his forward-thinking approach to entertainment and personal expression. The Moonwalker video game. A surprising but delightful find for gaming and music enthusiasts alike was the Moonwalker video game, a tangible extension of Michael Jackson's cinematic venture. The game, where players danced their way to victory, was a fusion of Jackson's music and the arcade culture of the time. Fetching $22,000 at auction, the video game console was a piece of interactive history, allowing the buyer not just to own, but to experience a part of Jackson's creative legacy. Macaulay Culkin collectibles. Among the more personal items were collectibles associated with Macaulay Culkin. A testament to their unique friendship, these included original artwork and signed memorabilia from the Home Alone star. Seen as tokens of their bond and times spent at Neverland, these items fetched bids up to $5,000. They held not only monetary value, but also sentimental worth, as they were symbols of Jackson's close connections and the comfort he found in friendships away from the spotlight. A crown and throne. In a nod to his moniker as the King of Pop, a regal crown and an ornate throne were also put up for auction. These items were a physical manifestation of Jackson's royalty in the music world. Sold for $15,000 and $10,000 respectively, they were more than decorative pieces. They were emblems of the authority and status Jackson held in the entertainment industry, a reminder of his influence and the devotion of his fans. That white sequin rhinestone glove. Perhaps the pinnacle of the auction, both in terms of iconic value and price, was the white sequin rhinestone glove, quintessential to Jackson's signature style. This glove, sparkling under the lights, was a symbol of his groundbreaking contributions to music and fashion. Going for an astounding $190,000, the glove was not just a piece of apparel. It was a piece of pop culture history, representing the magic and showmanship of Michael Jackson's performances that captivated audiences around the world. The Field of Dreams painting. In a collision of art and reality, the Field of Dreams painting stood out as a hallmark of Jackson's auction. This oil painting by David Nordell, featuring Michael leading a parade of children through an idyllic landscape, sparked intrigue and admiration. A stunning visual representation of Jackson's self-styled messianic image and his relationship with children, the piece was sold for $75,000. The painting was more than a collector's item. It was a canvas of Jackson's vision of a utopian world where he was a guide and protector, an ideal that he tirelessly aspired to make real through his philanthropy and music. His many mansions. Jackson's property portfolio, which included the infamous Neverland Ranch, along with other lavish residences, represented his architectural aspirations and his desire for sanctuary from the tumultuous world of fame. These mansions, each a unique realm reflecting different facets of his personality and life, were sold for amounts that reached into the tens of millions. The $22 million sale of Neverland was particularly poignant, marking the end of an era for the physical space that encapsulated Jackson's grand dreams and tragic complexities. These homes, once echoing with the notes of his music and the laughter of visiting children, stood as monuments to his success and the price of his profound public persona. Each of these items, now in the hands of collectors, continues to radiate the spirit of Michael Jackson. They are echoes of a past that blend reality and fantasy, marking the chapters of a life that was as multifaceted as the crystals on his famous glove. Got intrigued by MJ's bizarre auction items? Hit like, subscribe for more pop culture treasures, and click the bell so you won't miss our next thrilling dive into MJ's legacy. Keep the legend alive with us!